Hey guys, today Ryan is going to do the touching electrical wires challenge. Go for it, buddy.
I've seen the views. I've seen the views. I was expecting them to do me dirty and not give me Smokey 1 until the end of the run. I've never been so happy to be wrong. Oh my god. They gave me Smokey 1 pretty early on. That's really good. Normally, I feel like the point where you're having a struggle is when they give you a first variation of a boss, like, in the middle of you having to also juggle around, like, being able to open a boss door and, like, silver coins. Once you get into that convoluted mess of your routing, it's like, if your boss, like, your first phases of your bosses start showing up there, it's like, it gets really finicky, right? Like, it just gets so finicky. Why is this dude so... Like, he really cuts corners, dude. I swear to you, he cuts corners. I don't like his noise either, by the way. He made, like... I also gotta say this, because I was talking to Riley about this. One really weird thing that kind of dawned on me earlier today is that Diddy Kong Racing's voice acting in this game had a bit more of a threat to it when, like, you know, an enemy was behind you, right? With wizpig, when you would do his first variation of his boss fight, you would have to deal with hearing his footsteps just approaching, right? The volume getting louder. Dynamic volume, fellas. I don't think that exists in DS. I legitimately do not think that exists in DS. And you compare the voice acting is really where I want to shed some light, right? Because I can't remember the voice acting of most of the bosses, but if I remember something very specifically, Blubber, who is the octopus boss in the game, right, for Sherbert Island, in this game, he's obviously got the very, like, menacing, but also, like, gargly sort of, well done, shrimp, and he's got like that type of voice. Meanwhile, and unless if I'm mixing it up, which I don't think I am, his voice in DS is just he's got like an evil witch voice. He's like Gruntilda from Banjo-Kazooie. And I'm like, why? What those voices don't correlate at all, and I'm confused, is the simple way to put it. Okay. So, I feel like the best thing I could probably do, and this is something I've learned about the way that I want to handle routing, is I think we should complete the main levels of this world first. You know what I know? Okay, so I don't have enough for Treasure Coves, and that is probably because they literally want me in the routing to go right back to Greenwood Village and get the silver coins done. I love when routing makes you do that one thing, because that's something I've noticed since I started doing the actual world map rando, is that it literally is, it's very big on doing this whole shebang of making you short on balloons, right? And mainly you have to deal with that because bosses don't actually give you balloons, right? You do a boss, and obviously it gives you progression stuff that you can do, such as silver coins or, you know, stuff for the wizpig statue. But it doesn't give you a balloon, so you kind of have to think back to if you can do silver coins for anything. It's like, it's really cool how stuff like that gets routed, I guess. All right, this on a hovercraft is, well, I mean, like, it's all right, I guess. At Greenwood Village, silver coins are really, I've had a bad history with just getting them as, like, 2-lap deals, which they have, like, not necessarily tight silver coins you have to deal with, but, like, ones that, like, if you're not aware of the fact that there's different silver coins on different routes, you're just going to get all types of jacked up. Fortunately for me, I'm just killing it, bro. Like, I know the last two I gotta get, I think. There might be a hint of copium in that, to be honest, but I got 4 laps. Like, I'm straight chilling, but, yeah, no, the voice acting thing I was mentioning, like, they just, any semblance of making the voice acting, like, the bosses having some sense of, like, being threatening, it was completely gone in DS. And I remember especially one of the really weird changes was, like, you know, Wizpig and Taj were two examples that I could really think of. Because Wizpig's voice, if you've heard it in this game, is just very, "You can't beat me." It's sorry, I can't voice act to save my life. That was probably kind of loud. It's very pig snort sounding, but with the hint of, like, it was just done really well for him being a pig that functions like a talking humanoid sort of figure of a pig with the big giant cape, right? But then in DS, they made him super generic. I will never forget that Wizpig makes a sound when he passes you in Diddy Kong Racing DS. And instead of his really threatening, like, passing you in placement sound where he's like, "Ah!" that he would do in, like, this game, in DS, he just goes, "Ah!" I wish I was joking. He just, "Ah!" I'm like, that's so boring. That's like actually uber boring. What? It sounds like you could have gotten that from some weird stock sound effect thing for your, like, underground superhero movie company, right? It sounds like the type of sound that a company named Narvel would rip, right? You know, the ripoff of Marvel. And it's just really funny to me. Because it just doesn't sound right. Like, I don't know. And then Taj, they had the weird thing of, like, Taj, got the very big hint of, like, that stereotypical Arabic genie accent, right? You know. But for some reason, and I guess I get maybe if there was a stereotype thing that they had to remove, I bet you that was probably the reason they did it. But they made him British, like a very calm Tricky too. Okay. They made him a very calm British dude in Diddy Kong Racing DS, which I get it, I guess. But I also don't. And I also remember, because Taj and Wizpig were playable in Diddy Kong Racing DS, I also have this very fond memory of just when you would bump into a wall or something in Diddy Kong Racing DS as Taj, he'd just go, "Ooh." Just, "Ooh." And it's just so goofy, dude. Wow. That sent me everywhere. No shot, dude. Did I zoomed in. Yeah, okay. I'm tapping to get back ahead. But, yeah, no, it's just the voice acting in DS is so weird, because, again, I will always give it credit for being my first experience with Diddy Kong Racing. But I can't deny that it is the additions that it added, such as removing silver coins as a feature in favor for the weird, like, Taj carpet minigames. It's kind of weird. And, there was also, like, a whole ordeal of, I thought to myself, maybe the reason they did it was because the silver coins, I believe, have the Rare logo on them. Which, obviously, Rare wasn't really involved. Cross my fingers, hoping I'm not wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not wrong. Rare wasn't really involved with Diddy Kong Racing DS, because the Microsoft buyout. So I'm just sitting here like, is there a reason that they had to completely switch up the minigame? Who's to say they couldn't have made the coins a different color? And again, there's probably some legal stuff about it that I just am blissfully unaware of. But I'd love to understand. I would love to understand, believe me. Okay. So that was tricky too, meaning we can't do silver coins yet, which would be nice when we have 3 levels done in Dino Domain, right? The only other level we have to do is we have to do the battle minigame, and we have to do Hot Top Volcano. So right now we're making a lot more progress towards getting the wizpig amulet finished, which, I mean, I guess is fine, but the wizpig fight is going to be in a completely random spot.